The Shark Deck.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. A friend of Meghan Markle's has claimed Meghan is skipping the coronation because of the backlash she received the last time she visited the UK. The unnamed pal told People, Meghan wants to be there to support her father-in-law, but at the same time, the scrutiny she receives outweighs the support. There's always going to be the other side challenging their reasoning, and who wants to put themselves in that position? Meghan has the convenient excuse that she is staying behind for Prince Archie's birthday, which is the same day as the coronation. Royal biographer Sally Bedell-Smith calls this an elegant solution. The birthday gave them a reasonable out for Meghan not to come. Royal historian Tessa Dunlop also believes that a possible negative reaction factored into Meghan's thinking. She told Us Weekly, an insider tells me that they were a bit concerned about her security and the response from the public. They can't control what the public would have given her, which would paint Britain in a very bad light too. She also believes Harry will suffer without his wife at his side. Clearly, he does lean on her very heavily. I think clearly they bonded. They both had painful childhoods and took solace in each other's respective narratives, and he's coming alone. King Charles is not expected to have much time for his son Harry next week. The Mirror's royal editor Russell Myers said, "It goes without saying that the King and other senior royals have an awful lot on their plate. When it comes to rehearsing and preparing for the May 6 event, Charles will, as father, be delighted that his youngest son will be by his side for the most important moment in his life. But they will all have to wait another day to discuss the mending of their devastated relationships." It is also believed that Harry's brother, Prince William, has had it with Harry and does not plan on spending any time together. Royal commentator Angela Mollard has made headlines telling Sky News Australia, "I think Team Sussex is in free fall. I genuinely do. The fact Meghan was not there really supporting Harry in the Spear tour as he was doing his publicity, the fact that she's not going to the coronation, I'm really worried about this couple. All they have is each other. They don't have connections with their families on both sides. Of course, Meghan has Doria, but she's fallen out with her father and wider family. He's now fallen out with his family. They are not a couple who are practiced in being conciliatory, so if there are problems with their relationship or there are conflicts of interest between what they want to do in the future, and Meghan wants to style herself as a Gwyneth Paltrow-style Goop Part 2, then Harry is going to be a problem around that. And I don't think they have the communication skills to navigate that sort of territory. I don't know if one or the other is the liability, but I think both of them are no longer a team. Palace Intrigue will be right back.
I'm Nina Hobson, ex-police detective from the UK. I've worked on every crime mentionable, from murder to kidnap to stalking to fraud. When I left the force, I launched my own investigations firm that soon became a global operation. I'm also a single mother of two, to two members of my team, my son Harrison and daughter Amy. Every week we'll be getting first-hand accounts from psychological experts, operatives, former criminals, actual victims of the crimes that we investigate, and of course, my very own flesh and blood. From Storic Media, you're listening to Codename Siren, a true crime podcast. Available on YouTube and all major podcast platforms.
Bad news if you were a fan of the Proclaimers song, I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles, as it has been removed from the King's Coronation playlist after complaints were received about the band's Republican views. The Scottish rock duo, the Proclaimers, are self-declared Republicans who have been vocal about their views at various points throughout their career. Per The Guardian, last September, the Proclaimers' Charlie Reid stated his support for Simon Hill, an author and tutor who was initially charged with using threatening or abusive words or disorderly behaviour during a proclamation ceremony for King Charles in Oxford. Speaking to The National, Reid said, "I thought that guy spoke for me, and he speaks for loads of others of people, not just in Scotland, but right around the UK." On the Queen's death, Reid said, "Loads of people are like me. They had personal respect for the woman, but they do not support the monarchy." Her son, similarly unelected, has taken over, and the media has encouraged no debate on that. They're unquestioning. The way they report that everyone in Britain feels the same way, they don't. This is just simply untrue. One can see how Reid's views are incongruous with the coronation of the King. The playlist compiled by the Department for Digital Culture, Media and Sport includes Come Together by the Beatles, Let's Dance by David Bowie, Our House by Madness, and We Are the Champions by Queen. There is no playlist music by Lionel Richie, who is headlining the coronation concert next Sunday. Harry will not be staying for the Lionel Richie concert. A royal source told the Mirror organisers have been told Harry won't be attending the concert with the rest of the royal family, which is a great shame as it will be such a spectacular event. Lionel Richie has met the King a number of times over the years and became the first global ambassador for his charity, the Prince's Trust, in 2019. Also performing, but not on the playlist, is Katy Perry. Perry is an ambassador for the King's charity, the British Asian Trust, and hopes her performance will shine a light on its Children's Protection Fund. The Telegraph reports Sir Paul McCartney was reportedly approached to form the concert's centrepiece, while recent rumours suggest US superstar Bette Midler could bring some Hollywood glamour to the occasion. Midler has previously taken part in the Royal Variety performance in 2009 and 2014. If you are just discovering Palace Intrigue today, welcome. We do this 7 days a week. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, just tap that button on the top of your phone screen that says follow next to a plus sign. You can also follow us on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your shows. Next week, we'll have a second bonus episode each day as part of the lead-up to the coronation of King Charles. And there you have it. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue and good times.
All right, here's the pitch. 5 stories, they're all good news. It's called 5 Good News Stories. No negative news, just good news. Nice, easy way to start your day. Hopefully a smile. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac, host of 5 Good News Stories. You get the premise? There's 5 stories, and they're all good news. It's the number 5 Good News Stories. 5 Good News Stories. Follow the show wherever you get your podcasts.